Hey guys, welcome to Soup for the Soul Sign. We're back on the stock pot, the SP, because we're your highest rarity and Weiss content. I'm here with Jason, Alejandro, and Brandon.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, soup.
I'm definitely leaving after that comment.
It just worked out so well. I forgot that that's also one of the things that I thought of when we thought of this name.
Yep. Jake, the actual mastermind behind all of our puns.
Listen,
Naming schemes are my forte.
I've seen a lot of SPs in the last couple of days. That was not one I wanted to pull.
I was gonna say, Jason, how was your weekend?
I've never touched so much cardboard, I think, in a matter of multiple days.
For those of you who didn't see, Jason had the opportunity to open a master case of Bang Dream Fifth Annie.
Fifth Annie.
And then 2 days later, he opened a case of D4DJ.
D4DJ.
Oh.
I touched a lot of SPs. They were because Bang Dream cases had 7 SPs total, 1 SSP, and 6 regular. So there was 14 there. And then the D4DJ case had 1 SSP and 4 SPs.
That's nuts. What?
There was a lot of shiny cardboard. There's a lot of sorting. We finally made it to the end.
He
I
got
think.
to walk out with 16 SPs and 3 SSPs from 3 cases.
Yes. It was a wonderful weekend and a lot of cards.
For those of you who don't know, we did stream it. We
did stream the Bang Dream one.
Yeah, we streamed that on Twitch.
We did, and
because YouTube's streaming services are annoying.
we learned a lot specifically about how the packs do not like Alejandro.
Yeah,
Well,
Alejandro,
yeah.
want to walk us through what happened?
Well, so listen, how it goes is that for the first maybe 5 or 6 boxes, I started from the left. I moved left to right. Left is always dead. Right is where the pulls are, like the foils. And then I'm like, okay, all right, I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna start on the right side because how we were doing in the case opening is, once we pull the 2 foils from the box, we take the rest of the packs and we put them to the side, and we just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Just so that
Just so we weren't just sitting there opening all 36 boxes on cases. That would have taken a lot longer.
That was one of the faster cases I've seen broken down though, so that was fun.
But like 5 or 6 boxes in, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start on the right side.
And it just
And how'd that go?
I'm a fool. I hate Weiss.
That's what makes you hate Weiss?
I hate Weiss because then from then on, the right side was just dead.
There was at one point a $10 bet that I offered to you, stating that if it's on the left side, if the hits are on the left side, you would win $10, and if not, then there was no then you owe me $10, and you got to the last pack on the left side, and you got the SSP, right?
There was
Yeah,
an
and I would've
SSP
lost.
Yeah,
specifically.
you would have lost because I was like, man, you would have made $10. You would have been $10 richer. And lo and behold, which SSP was it?
It was the Renko.
The Renko.
Renko was there. Renko SSP. Yeah, we also had a little fun. We did a little thing where we were counting the points on who opened the most SPs.
We did get a new game out of this.
Yeah, that was inadvertent.
I apparently was the loser in it, which doesn't make any sense.
Jason
but
lost. He pulled. So the point system was
I think it was rigged against me.
one point per SP, 2 points per SSP.
Yeah,
Jason pulled 8 SPs.
I did.
Alejandro pulled 4 SPs and 2 SSPs. SSPs are cooler, so you lost.
No,
You should accept
no,
that you accept the fact that you lost.
So I
Even
just wanna
chat said you lost.
I just want to make sure to know the reason why I was deemed a loser is because Alejandro had no luck until literally the last 2 boxes.
Alejandro, like
Those last couple boxes.
even chat said Alejandro got it.
That's the
Yeah,
price,
because
that's the
they
price
all
of
felt bad for him.
Listen, that's the price
Because
of being the best.
you were not the best, and because you were every box I was opening kept having SPs in it. You were not opening anything.
So all right, let's put it like this, right? You opened a couple packs out of your boxes,
Yeah.
and then you pulled it, and then you moved on. I ended up opening a majority of the packs that I ended up having
Yeah.
open.
Well, listen, have better
You
luck next
probably got more than 18 boxes out of
time.
all
Yeah,
of your boxes.
because
then.
you know what? My boxes hit, his didn't.
yeah, and then I hit the SSPs.
Yeah, he hit both SSPs, so he won. Congratulations, Alejandro, on the win.
Yeah.
Woo!
Next time we do this, it's probably going to be for Avatar.
No,
Yes.
Quince.
Wins.
No,
Oh.
Quince. Yeah, Quince. We have a lot of Quince.
How many boxes do you have?
We have 5 cases coming in.
Wow.
So it's
one for each girl.
Oh my god.
One for each girl
it's
we
either
want
gonna
open.
be multiple streams or one really, really long stream.
No, you gotta break that up.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't
Listen,
know if I have the patience for that.
Yeah,
You
that's the
issue.
issue. I don't know if they'll be able to restrain themselves.
Yeah, we might just do one because if you try to do it with multiple streams, you saw what was left on your table.
There was carnage on my tables.
Not
Not
So-
just tables, both of them.
Yes.
You destroyed both 6-foot
Yes.
tables I have.
Listen, I just
And
finished.
We are still
almost-
cleaning up from it.
the Bang Dream one. Yes, the Bang Dream one is still being cleaned up to this day.
Yeah, and I think blue is gonna keep going until
No, blue's done.
Blue's done.
Blue's
fully
done. I'm doing climaxes, and then there's another stack of green that's
okay,
left.
okay. So I can finally get those tables back eventually.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we have the one table we always used, and then there's that other table that has stuff on it. You know?
And then the other
You
table.
don't sound
and
that
the other
confident.
Like that's
piles.
like whatever. it's
Yeah,
whatever.
you know, we have now.
All right, yeah,
5K.
whatever, yeah, whatever. We're gonna get another master case of Bang Dream and open it again. So
I also think we're gonna. Oh wait.
No
Anyway, so-
shot. No
Okay.
shot.
what were we saying?
I also think we're gonna restructure points now
Oh,
because you know now Jason is now appealing his loss and
I'm
is
not
saying
even
that
appealing
his loss
anything.
is illegitimate.
It's
And
okay.
so we're gonna probably have like a tier bracket of like what SSPs and SPs are worth, and it's not gonna be by like dollar amount, even though that's like the cleanest way
Well,
to resolve it.
There's
No, it's
that is not the
it-
cleanest way.
it is by.
How is it
is-
not?
Huh?
How is it not?
That is not the because you can open a Yukina SSP in a Bang Dream case.
And that's
no
not
matter-
the one you want.
No matter what happens, I could have opened the rest of the SPs. It would still not equate to the amount that card is worth.
Yeah. Then are you telling me that if like he opened a Yukina SSP, you would not just concede the game?
No, I
That-
would not.
I don't buy that.
I don't buy that either.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't think that's.
I would not.
I don't think that's what you do.
Yukina is
In the
what's-
words of our good friend Dave Austin,
Oh no.
Cap.
Listen, let it be known, Yukina is not even my favorite character.
Yeah, you still would have pogged. And
Well,
you
yeah,
would have
'cause
been
that
like,
is the
I
most
opened a
expen-
Yukina SSP.
That is the most expensive
Ah.
Yukina card, and all of the Bang Dream sets have been Yukinas. So opening one would have been really nice.
I think you deserve to just auto win if you get the Yukina SSP.
No, that's just not
It's
how
like
that works.
for Hololive, you should just auto win if like they
you get the
pulled, like-
Ame on Hololive 2.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, you know what?
You see?
Fine. The Tachogram, the Ina.
Oh.
That would be something I would concede to in Hololive.
Oh well, you heard it here.
Yeah, you heard it here.
So
You're
But
actually
guess
just-
what? I'm not getting a case of Hololive.
well, guess who's getting two?
but it
Yeah,
could end
guess
up
who's-
me
guess who's
buying
getting
2
two?
cases of Atralane.
That's right.
Whatever. Yeah, whenever that comes out.
Yeah, the to be announced dates.
Yeah. So speaking of
You-
to be announced dates, we had Bushy Road had a little thing last night
Yeah.
at midnight.
Emphasis on little.
Honestly,
the-
I
at the
actually
time-
slept through it.
at
That's
the
how
time of
little the
recording,
news was.
I was playing
This was last
Honkai
night.
Star Rail instead of really paying attention.
It's just
So, my thing with the whole like presentation thing that they have in English is that I think I don't understand what people's expectations are because people will be like, "Oh my god, what are they going to announce?" And then, cuz like last time they announced like 5 sets. Like it was something like that cuz yeah, we got like or
Well-
like we announced like 5 different things.
It's not even just last time; it was the time before that too. They announced 11. So in the last 2 streams before yesterday, they announced 11 different sets, basically. 11 different types of product.
yeah.
It was all new. It was not stuff we've seen.
But
before.
also, that was at the beginning of the year when we didn't have a majority of this year already planned out.
well, one was Worlds, and the other one was before that.
Yeah,
Was
again,
before the year.
beginning of the year.
Yep.
Before, like, because people are like, of course, people are like, oh my god, they didn't announce anything. They only announced like Rico. By the way, got announced.
It did.
I know you're happy about that.
I
but
am very happy.
But, it's just like a lot of these presentation streams don't end up with anything.
so
Like
but-
they it'll be like 1 or 2 sets normally. Of course, we have those other streams where, like last time it was a bunch of stuff, and then the one before that was a bunch of stuff. But again, keep in mind this is the beginning of the year when we didn't have a majority of 2023 set in place.
But here's the problem. Like, yes, I understand that part. But even before, they've announced sets with dates at least. Like this time we didn't we got Lico Rico, and they announced stuff that we already knew about. There are still 3 or 4 sets out there that have no announcements, and they weren't even like talked about.
Mhm.
Chainsaw Man, Azure Lane, Spy Family, and now Lico Rico also is coming soon. They did say Guilty Gear come out in winter, but Guilty Gear got announced way after those other sets.
I
it got an-
imagine like we can fill in the blanks for like October, November, December for those 3 sets.
You can't even do that.
But it's one of those things where they might put out a tweet or a Facebook post saying, "Hey, by the way, we forgot something."
Well,
because
no.
they have definitely done that.
That was just for Psychonaut, but like what I'm
They
saying,
did it for Overlord too.
no, but they just announced Overlord. It wasn't
Yeah,
like a we
but
forgot.
they could just say we're gonna put another thing out there.
But that's the difference between we forgot. That because before they announced that they were gonna announce Psychonaut, but then some other stuff came out, so then they could announce Psychonaut. Overlord was just a random thing. Review movie, another random thing, something they didn't even talk about.
So that's the crazy thing too. Is this like for Review getting its 3rd set? I mean, set 2 isn't even out yet, right? But I mean, whatever.
Mhm.
The thing is that like both times they announced it like right before like the actual presentation.
Overlord was random.
No, I'm talking about Review.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking about Review, like set 2 and movie set.
right. And I mean, we got hints, but like now it's like again these sets are that were announced that don't have dates, but we can't even confirm they'll come out this year.
Like I also don't understand what it is with Review because it's the Bushiroad IP too. That is owned by Bushiroad.
I mean, to be honest, I can't see like Azure Lane and like at least Azure Lane and Chainsaw Man come out this year.
I don't even think so because again I thought the same thing, but they still have no dates, and Overlord got pushed in front of it, and now the Review movie set also got pushed in front of it.
But keep in mind that's we have all the way up to September. There's still October, November, December.
But I have a feeling they're just gonna push other sets that they were planning to release just in front of it.
All right, like what?
Their Psychonaut set 3. It's a big one.
Also keep in mind that a lot of these months have 2 releases in them.
Yeah. So like I said,
So they could fit,
there are other sets that we may just get that aren't Chainsaw Man, Azure Lane, and Spy Family.
I think that's just a big miss for Bushiroad.
But it still could happen because again we've been waiting this long. Chainsaw Man has been announced for almost a whole year. I mean, it might even be a year now. And
No, it got announced at Anime Expo,
Yeah.
which is just like a July August.
So we're almost coming up on a
convention.
year, and there is still not a single date for it yet
In English.
in English. But that's the thing. Weiss Japan finally just got a date. That was announced. That's been announced over a year in Japan.
Well, it got announced at the same time.
Um,
Because it got revealed at Anime Expo.
Right.
So the Japanese didn't even know it was coming out.
Which it's finally coming out now, but like still, it took it a whole year. Normally, when JP sets get announced, it comes out relatively pretty quickly.
That's true.
So the fact that these are still unknown, I think we're gonna get the rest of our year is gonna get filled in with random announcements. They'll have.
What I find is absolutely nuts is like we look at like Hololive, and then we look at like the set 1, set 2, like the difference between like when we get them and when Japan gets them. It's usually like a 6 months difference. And I'm like Azure Lane, the closest thing I can like equate it to as of recent is probably Hololive, where there's multiple trial decks
Mhm.
and it's a above average size set. Well, that has what like 130, 150 cards in it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like the hype's there, the cards are there, the amount of people who want it is there. I just can't believe that Bushiroad hasn't jumped on top of the fact that they can make $1 trillion off this one set, and they just choose to not have it. I think there might be something going on behind the wings that they're trying to do. Either if it's like full signature rights or something, like they might just not want to deliver stamps on something, and that could be something as well. But I still find it absolutely aggravating that we've had these 3 sets waiting in the wings for so long. They're gonna slip in other sets that some people asked for, not a ton of people asked for. While these sets are still, like you see Azure Lane is still kind of relevant in terms of people wanting to play it over in Japan. Spy Family and Chainsaw Man. We don't know what they're going to do, but we imagine they're going to be good. We know that Chainsaw Man, a lot of the cards are flavorful, at least, and they're very cool. The Denji, that guy, he's my boy. I haven't watched Chainsaw Man, but that Denji just eating on that beige background.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, I'm the realest Chainsaw Man fan.
I
I haven't watched anything or read anything.
That only applies to Persona.
Oh.
Persona fans are notorious for never playing Persona.
But I think that it's absolutely like insane that they have not given us any like iota of what's to come.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually nuts.
Like I joked before the announcement. I was just like, it's just gonna be Legend of Korra for no reason.
Yeah, and
Like
better
they'll give us Avatar, but then they'll give us Legend of Korra before Avatar even comes out.
couldn't even have that. But instead we got Shadowverse, which like I'm looking forward to it because it's not wholly owned by Bushy.
I think I'm gonna learn how to play Shadowverse, and I'm gonna have to see how this circuit goes before I actively like deep dive into Shadowverse.
Listen, man, I'm just trying to get into like go to Worlds and go to Tokyo.
Is it in Tokyo?
It's gonna be in Tokyo.
For Shadowverse Worlds. Yes.
Is it sponsored trips?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I don't think they've disclosed those
They
details. yet.
didn't disclose it, but I would be surprised if it wasn't.
Okay, now okay, Shadowverse just went up like 2 spots on my priority of card games now.
That's all it took.
Yeah, that's all it took, honestly. If you tell me I can go to Tokyo for free for something, yeah, I'll definitely look more into that then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's definitely one of those games that it just came out of nowhere. There's hype behind it.
Oh yeah.
I heard that the game's actually fun.
It's doing well in Japan.
I just have not looked into it at all.
Let me tell you, just look up like an actual Shadowverse tournament, and it is the weirdest amount of production you'll ever see.
Really?
Yeah, like the amount of production is nuts.
All right, that gives me some hope for something because like a lot of like like large card tournaments have taken a backseat to things.
Definitely has
So
in
it's
recent
like
years.
Magic doesn't stream their gigantic tournaments anymore. Flesh and Blood only streams, I think, like their worlds or their pro tours.
Oh.
So that's unfortunate. Bushiroad doesn't stream anything.
Which
Bushiroad
is
streams nothing.
which is crazy.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane because I feel like people would watch it.
It's crazy. They only stream Worlds. They don't stream. They don't even stream like top 8. Like if even if they stream top 8, that'd be more than.
Yeah, I would appreciate them just like posting on like Sunday afternoon. Oh, like here's the Card Fight Vanguard top 8. Here's the Weiss one, but like they don't even do it for BCS, and I find that wild because like how do you expect people to want to like learn this game and like learn how to play this game beyond just their groups?
Like, how are you gonna build hype?
Yeah, that too.
Like, how do you build hype if you don't stream these sorts of things? Because like, it's one thing for someone who's at the venue to be like, oh my god, you should have seen it. This he does this and that, and he canceled like all these attacks and like all these sources of damage, and he came with the clapback. It's one thing for like one guy to say that, but it's like another thing to be able to like visualize and like see that happen like live on stream and then pog with chat.
True.
Yeah, pogging with chat is definitely well worth it. I think they also didn't they mute chat?
Oh, they might have. I don't
think
know.
they muted chat.
I don't know for like, I don't know. I don't think they do.
I was at World, so I don't know.
I don't think they did. I mean, at least for like bro, they don't mute chat.
Okay.
At least for bro. Which
maybe they just don't see it as like worth it. I mean, because it's probably gonna be like a few hundred viewers at most, and then people refer to the VODs.
I guess, but like at the same time, I don't know, because Bushiroad has like some weird rules, right? Like, something we ran into a lot at Atlanta was, judges coming up and being like, "Oh, is that playmat licensed? Are those card sleeves licensed?" And it's just like, I would understand if there was a chance of being on stream, why they would care about that sort of thing. But like, if no one's streaming it, then like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, what's really funny is like if you look at like the WGPs, like all the like JP events, there's a much longer list of what they cannot play. Like
I believe it.
Pixar's on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Pixar and Disney's are both on there. Star Wars is on there.
Isn't like Project Sekai on there or something?
Uh,
Or like
It
one
was.
of the Hatsune Miku stuff.
Project
JoJo's is on
Oh.
there
Project Sakai is
because
on there.
they're not localized.
Really?
The name of the things aren't localized, so
Oh,
they're
wow.
named after musicians.
That's
Yeah.
So you can't play JoJo's at like WGPs or I think it's
That's-
WGPs
So wild.
because you can't face Aerosmith because you don't have the rights to play Aerosmith, and that might be part of it. That might be part of it where like they don't have like the full rights to the anime to be able to like put it on there, but like then what's the exemption for Worlds?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just confusing to me.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that, Jason?
Not really. I mean, I think a lot of it is because when it comes to English Worlds compared to the WGPs, is that they're translated that way in the WGP, while in English the localization is changed for stuff like JoJo's.
Yeah.
So like in JoJo's English, it's not called Aerosmith.
Well, yeah.
It's called Little Bomber.
This is my boy Lil Bomber.
But that's why there's not really like an issue with it here. I mean they stream this Worlds, but like I wish there were more streamed events.
Mhm.
In general.
Maybe it's
for
just like an
English.
effort thing. It might be an
I
effort thing.
think it depends on the venue, and maybe that's why.
Well, like if you do a stream, you have to bring like the over camera
Yeah,
rig.
I
You have to bring
think-
lights. You have to have a sectioned off area for them. You need a table judge.
They also need
you need a
your
streamer,
streamers, your-
laptops, you need-
everything.
Yeah.
and
like,
I don't know. I mean, yeah. That's definitely like a lot.
Streamer, your commentators.
But to be honest with you, like I feel like that's
just sell like 3
like-
more cases of Hololive and you can pay for it.
That's like- that's like holding back some of these like Weiss. I think as part of it. I don't think it's the main. I don't think it's the main
I
thing
mean,
that's
yeah,
holding
I
it back.
wish-
But like, I feel like not having like that stream, like, because like every other card game not owned by Bushiroad
mhm.
is doing it. Pokemon does it. Yu-Gi-Oh streams.
Magic still streams their big tournaments. Like they don't stream like most of their cons anymore, but
Yeah.
they still do their pro tours every quarter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I was saying, like the equivalent of like BCS top 8.
Mhm.
This gets streamed by a majority, if not all
Well,
of these
especially
other.
BCS, where we're like all. It is the most anticipated tournaments for anyone who's not in Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So it's just weird.
I mean, I feel like eventually they'll get to it, because they're starting to. They do stream more. They stream Bro. They stream Worlds. I think it's probably just seeing how much they can do, and maybe eventually we will get to like normal regionals being streamed.
That would be really cool. I would like to
Yeah.
see team events streamed too. It is possible. Because
Oh, yeah, because because Magic did it.
Magic does it all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll get there.
So,
That would have been man. I would have been at the streamer table all the
yeah, I
day
bet.
in New York.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just get your like
All
several
day.
hours of fame, I guess.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But I guess okay. So I guess as a nice transition, speaking of events, so there's only been one event since the last time we talked. That was the team event in the Philippines.
Yeah, I was just going over the
Quezon
list.
City, Philippines.
Philippines. It's still a lot of like things we kind of assume, but there's a lot more variety, and I think Bang Dream coming out helps with that. But also, the Philippines just tends. I think when even BCS last year, it had like a weird thing, and I think a lot more people play TRV that people were not expecting.
You know what
Oh,
I
yeah.
find nuts about this actively?
What?
For Weiss Tea Time, shout out to Weiss Tea Time, by the way. They're the real G's.
Thanks, Avis.
They got all 24 lists up here faster than they did for Georgia because we're still missing 3.
Mm-hmm.
California because we're missing 6. And Toronto because we're also missing 3 for Toronto.
A lot of it, I think, comes down to people submitting their lists.
Oh, of course.
So-
I definitely understand that. But it's still, I find it absolutely insane that some of these got faster than like
I mean,
US based tournaments were.
I'm seeing a lot here. I'm happy to see that a 12 choice Bang Dream was on the first place team.
Listen, this whole event was mostly catered to you.
I see Bang Dream. I mean, Data Live. I mean, no one was playing 8-win. If there was an 8-win on there, then I'd say it's
Oh,
catered to
what?
me.
No, Bang Dream, Love Life Sunshine.
The Low Light Sunshine guy, that guy is something. He was playing wind, but not using a wind combo. He was just playing the wind. I think tied to bounce things, and then playing your standard Chica Yo sets. There's some Demachi, some MTI. Let's see. One. What's interesting? There was only one Escanor in the top 8. There were still a lot of there were still Kanata Marines. I think every Hololive list that was played in the Philippines that
There
made
were
it.
5 of the teams had something marine.
Well, no.
1,
All
2,
all
3.
all of the Hololive lists were Kanata Marine.
Yes.
They were all Kanata Marine. I do like the fact there was a lot of Kokoros getting played in Bang Dream also.
Wow.
I love that. But
Uh,
no, every Hololive list was Kanata Marine. Probably because they saw they didn't get hit. So they were like free reign again.
Oh, okay. Listen, we're gonna get to that because I feel like that there's a non-zero amount of us here that need to like do a public apology or at least talk about the fact
Public
that we
apology for what?
listen.
Yeah, why are you saying sorry?
Because I
You're just mad. Your hit
no,
got hit.
no,
Mr. English that wasn't gonna get hit, right?
I listen. Oh man, because believe me, no, you don't want to get me started now because I'm gonna have a whole rant about this.
Get started now.
Li-
Go ahead.
Go ahead. We're talking about it. I mean, there's
So-
really not much to go over in the Philippines. I mean, there's a lot of.
Okay. No,
lot
the
of-
one thing about the Philippines before we move off of that topic, I want to know who this person is about playing Goblin Slayer because apparently there's always at least one that top 8s. I'm terrified about their power because
I
they
think
out
Goblin
here.
Slayer is just good.
Listen, man,
if you can play Torch, if you know how to play Torch correctly,
Not
you
Jake.
can be very.
I know how to play Torch correctly. Thank you
He
very
does
much.
not know
Thank
how
you
to
very
play Torch.
much. I do know how to play
He
Torch.
does
All
not.
right, all
correctly.
right, all right. If you don't get punished playing Torch,
Which
There
he
it-
does
there it
every
is.
single time.
That's the statement.
But if you know how to play Torch correctly, because you wouldn't get punished if you knew how to play Torch correctly.
Is it my fault for revealing 4 climaxes off Torch
That's
twice?
that's one time.
Twice.
Twice. Yes, that might have been twice, but I've seen you also play it, and you just go for it.
You're a madman. Okay, you know what? Anyway, moving off of this.
If you know how to play Torch correctly because you know your deck state well, you can surprisingly survive a lot more damage, just because.
Let's see what they were working with. They were doing door standby.
So that is the Cowgirl and
yes.
the Goblin Slayer, I
Yep.
assume.
Yes.
Yep.
It just looks like a value pile to not die.
No, I mean that list has been played before. I think the top Goblin Slayer lists that were being played were Door Standby or you play Pants Door with the Priestess Goblin Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
So, they still do work. I mean, I think even in last Spring Fest there were a couple.
This event is
Events.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Gate scroll?
Yeah,
This card's hilarious.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Outside of the five Marines, these lists are all
Alejandro,
over the
do
place.
you know what this card does?
I don't.
It's a 3/3 event. It says if you have 5 or more order characters, choose one of your opponent's characters in battle and return it to his or her hand.
It's just
So the damage doesn't happen.
It's a
Mhm.
backup.
Yeah, this is a backup.
Mm-hmm.
This
Huh.
is hilarious. I love this card.
Goodbye, buddy.
We do see a couple SAOs here before
Yeah.
Alice was even legal.
yeah. So and I
Philippines
don't
is a
think
great
I don't
place.
think any of the decks were the same at all.
They were
They're
all over the place.
all over
one
the
of
place.
my friends did go to this event and he said it was pretty wild.
I believe it.
So-
It sounds like it.
I mean, look at the list. I mean, I would expect it.
Someone brought 8 standby Dow. Dual laners ran rampant, but that's a
favored.
that's a very popular deck in the like the Pacific Island areas because in like Taiwan, it also had like 7 out of 8 top 8s for a BCS, I think.
That sounds
So-
right.
So
Yeah.
this is a very popular deck in that area. I think just people like Tokyo Revengers. I don't like that deck, but a lot of people do play it, so I imagine like it'll hit at some point.
Mhm.
Plus, you only need to win like 2/3 of your games.
That's true.
That's true.
I mean, what is nice though? I mean, so now I think we should talk about the ban list because I do see it. I guess a little bit into effect because already, there were no Escanors except for one person being played, and I guess people don't want to play the Escanor as much now that they don't have the Gale Thunder bouncer.
Yeah.
I know people.
because you actively have to get rid of that because the
Yeah,
Escanor is
you-
essentially bonded to the
And
other
you
one.
could play the Merlin, but the problem with the Merlin, it doesn't check your top 3, so you don't get to see your triggers.
Hmm.
No.
I
Okay.
think that is the problem.
And isn't the Merlin a 1/1?
Merlin's
No.
a 3/2.
Oh, it's a
Merlin's
3/2.
Merlin's another 3/2 role play. You could
I was
bounce
thinking of
something.
the Adachi.
No.
Yeah.
That's a
yeah.
Gauther.
Oh, okay.
God, there's okay.
There's too many names in
No,
Seven Deadly
Well,
Sins.
there's a lot of names in this, but
At least 7.
thank you.
You can't say
God.
that.
At least
At
7.
least 7. All right. So Brandon, how do you feel about your English set finally getting hit
So
compared to when you said
let
it
this
was not?
be
never
shown
gonna
on the
get hit?
record that this is the first time ever that an English only site got hit on the ban list.
No.
Wow.
Batman Ninja.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. Shh.
Batman Ninja was a card correction, honestly, though.
Yeah,
it was
that's
more of a
different.
card
That was-
correction, I think so.
I mean, it is still on a pick 2, but it was to make sure you don't play a 3/2 on level 1.
Yeah. So, I honest to God thought that given the fact that the deck came out in December, it's only been 4 months since its release. I'm like, there's no way this is going to get hit.
Mhm.
There's been one singles tournament, which was Worlds,
Yeah.
which it did have a good showing on. I will
Yeah.
not deny that.
Uh-huh.
Got 3rd and 4th place.
It got 3rd and 4th place.
Yep.
It proceeded to do very well at 2 other team events. So we thought, okay, there just isn't enough data yet for them to actively make a decision and be like, hey, we need to hit this. And then lo and behold, they do the pick 2. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this seems it is too preemptive to do something like, okay, like this is going to be a problem, but then it's also again too late because even though it did well at Worlds, like you would have done something shortly after Worlds if it was actually an issue.
Brendan, you don't have to apologize for being wrong. If I had to do that, I would be
Ugh.
apologizing the whole time.
Yeah.
I actively said, hey, they could get rid of Charm. They could they could let people have that again.
Sure, they could have.
But I think the biggest mistake was I don't care about the 7 Deadly Sins hit. I don't care about the Quince hit.
Yeah, but well, before we move on, before I know you say something about Hololive, because I already know that's coming. I do want to talk a little bit more about the 7 Deadly Sins hit. Now, I do think hitting the gill is a smart decision.
I think it's fine.
I think it should have been the 3/2 Escanor instead of the 0/0.
Oh,
Yes.
just absolute. So any deck that happens to play both the Gill. Oh, there's a spider just like chilling.
Yeah, I see him
Yeah,
going down.
I've been trying to ignore it this entire
We'll have to-
time.
Oh, he cute.
Anyway,
Oh, he
so
cute.
yeah, so now the
Goodbye,
problem is
buddy.
like
Bye, buddy.
if you're not playing an Escanor deck, you cannot use this 3/2 and that 0/0 together.
I
Yes.
think I agree with that.
I wish it was the 3/2 Escanor so that you could still play these two cards together. Because say you're playing a green deck, that
Let's say you're
Escanor,
playing 8-bar friends.
that
Yeah,
that
okay,
that deck,
hold on.
that,
Don't bring
that
me into this.
Escanor is still really good just because of the fact I feel like by killing the 0/0, you're stopping other people from playing them together in other decks that may not be as advantageous.
Abusive of it.
Abusive. I think they
Right.
should have put the 3/2 so that you could still play the 0/0 in this 3/2. And that's just more of on a casual play point. Like I understand you're looking at the meta and you're doing this, and yes, Bushy Road, it was quick, and I do agree with it. I think you hit the wrong card. I think it should have just been the 3/2 Escanor if you're planning to hit the deck. Then that 0/0. But that's just the state of things. I did expect it to happen because as soon as Escanor came out, he was just
The
doing this.
hate for
Ye-
it was
yeah.
rampant. A lot of people went onto Twitter. Some people on the Facebook groups were mad that this deck exists.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I understand not liking a meta deck, but like, I thought Bushi Road was like instances of one without like an extremely high cost to pay. They weren't for, but apparently this was just something else.
I think they made a mistake when the cards came out, and I think Bush Road saw that. Maybe they may not have said it themselves.
I think if it was like a pay to pitch one.
And I understand the hit the Quince was necessary because it slows down the deck's speed.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 2
Yeah.
stock for 9 cards in your deck for a standby deck is a
it
lot.
was really good, and it helps you, especially when you're in bad deck states. That's 9 cards you could just get out for 2 stock
Yeah.
if you're in a bad deck state.
It's also is it a spammable brainstormer?
No,
No.
Okay, that's whatever.
So it's a brainstorm, and then you
you could
pay
pay
one,
one,
sack
sack
one.
it, but you
Pay
have
one,
to tap
sack it.
2 characters.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I was entirely fine with that.
Mhm.
But the hate for playing Escanor.
Yes.
A lot of people were saying it's such a brain dead deck, or it's a deck that really doesn't do anything until you get your opponent to 2-5, 2-6,
Yeah.
3-0, because 2 Escanors will end the game.
Actually, just end the game for you.
It is not if it will end the game; it's when it ends the game,
exactly.
because they decided to print something that deals damage in instances of 1.
Yes.
And unless your opponent's deck is 7 cards, 6 climaxes, you are not gonna live through that turn effectively.
Yes, and if again, shout out to YC Time because they actually made an article about this and it was actually very well written. It is a type of card where if there is no interaction, it just kills you and there's nothing you can do about it. It's in some cases where if someone like try fields their actual finisher and like, all right, like pay 2, deal 2 or something like that, where they just try to burn you out, there's some possible counterplay that could happen. You could just completely Lutsack and just cancel and the key moments and you can just still live.
Jason and I have both stared down 3 Marines and
And
have lived to tell the tale.
Exactly. You cannot do that against Escanor. The only way you can even remotely possibly do it is if you money counter it, you neg soul it, or you memory kick it.
Well, yeah. Sorry, continue.
And like it's just not many sets have those. That's and then this also plays into why they had to get rid of the guild, because if you just make an empty lane for Escanor to attack into,
4 soul.
you just die.
Base 4 soul, like
Base
climax,
4 soul,
5 soul,
5 soul.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, cool. I hit double soul. Oh, it's 6. And it's like
7 if you hit a double soul there.
Yeah, like then like what do you do?
Take a casual level of damage, sir.
Then it's like, oh, I just go from
It's 4 soul on climax. It's at base 2.
Well, yeah, base 2, empty lane.
4. Because
Oh,
if it was
plus
5,
one.
you
Yeah,
couldn't.
no, you're right.
If
you're
it was
right,
5,
you're
you
right.
couldn't proc skill.
You're right.
and it's just like, what do you do? And really, it's just like, his effect should not have been like this.
Yeah.
I think it should have costed more.
It should have either costed more or just been
I
worded
think
a
if it
little
was
bit
like a
differently.
pay to pitch the specific character, I think it would have been fine. Because then it's harder to double. You can still probably double.
No, it's
substantially-
really not harder to double. I don't think
it's
you
not that-
realize how easy it is to proc pay 2 pitch the character.
Pay 3 pitch one.
I think
At that point, then it's just
still it's not that difficult because
What if it was pay 3 pitch 2 cards?
that's a little bit different. That's a little bit harder because the reason why is because again, people who play this Escanor are playing stock soul.
Yeah.
So the stock is not even a problem.
it's most of the hand.
It's mostly having the hand or the specific
And
card
the
to
bonded card.
do and the
right?
bonded card.
Okay.
But yeah, like as Brandon's saying, the only thing I have to disagree with Brandon said is that yes, the memory kicker says I was kind of explaining this to Justin because I told him he needs to play money counter, and he asked me why do you play money counter? I said, well, you got to stop Escanor. He's like, yeah, but I could also just memory kick it. I said, you can memory kick it, sure. The problem is you're still taking that damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't money counter it, you cannot, like, for example, say you're at 3-3. Yeah, you can memory kick it. You still might end up taking 4 instances of 1. You have to money counter it to really stop it. Memory kicking, yes, shuts down the other ones, but you still have to deal with that initial damage. And that's why I was saying that memory kicks are not as good against Escanor as I thought they would be. But also, that could be why maybe Escanors might not be played, because Cosme now exists. Cosme is the new Bang Dream finisher, but there's an event that gives cards in front of it -3 Zolt.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
So soul reduction on the Escanor turn could be pretty brutal.
Is the no auto damage
No.
gonna be meta?
It is. I believe so. I think we may not be seeing it right now in BCS, but we'll probably see it more. Springfest. Probably see it more in BCS.
So later down the line, it might kind of be the quote unquote counter pick to it, but Bang Dream has a full kit to be able to deal with it.
It is very good. It at the end of its attack, it still burns 2. And say your opponent lives, it does turn off auto damage. And then the other nice part is like I said, there's an event that makes specifically her gain an ability to give minus soul. So now you're turning off attacks, and if they did auto burn, they can't. They specifically can't.
Well, Escanor isn't auto.
Yeah, but the minus soul part is. I'm talking about like
hopefully you're equipped for the situation.
But it's more of like you swing into Marine. Marine can't pay 1 deal 2 on you during that attack.
Marine's just vanilla beaters at that point.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So Bang Dream's gonna shake things up a little bit. We don't know how much in terms of, because we honestly don't have a great gauge of how much of this set is out there for collectors and how much of this set is out there for players.
Yeah, I'm out here looking for Cosme SSPs and haven't seen anyone post a single thing.
This has been one of the drier markets I've seen for
They're hiding them.
SPs and SSPs being posted, and that's because I think the fandom for this set is huge.
Yeah, they're hiding them.
So a lot of people want to hang on to their stuff, and I think everyone's expecting this to like time bomb it.
I will
Mm-hmm.
purchase Cosme SSPs.
Well, do it sooner than
I
later.
doubt it.
I can't even find them.
Listen, I mean, even if you could find them, I doubt you'd buy them.
I definitely want them.
You want and
yeah.
doing it is
Listen,
completely
If
different.
one appears in the wild, and depending on the price,
I want Tay SSPs, but you know we can't all
Kasumi
get,
comes first.
we all can't get what we want. So this should bring us to the other part of the ban list, and it's what they didn't ban.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they made a mistake with HoloLive again.
true. HoloLive has been.
And I think their reasoning is there's too much to ban.
I don't think that's the reasoning. So, we don't really know their reasoning. I don't know if any of you guys, and I know Brandon has, but Clock Tower put a very good ban list video out.
Yes, they
the before. And I do recommend, if you haven't seen it, watching it, because they do talk about what Bushiroad is potentially thinking. And one of the things they say is that they might have hit Escanor, because when the ban list went active, it's when Sao dropped. So they may be wanting people. They don't want to ban. They may want people to start playing this newer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So banning what's currently strong right now, like Escanor.
Well, I definitely see that view of it, but it's
But
definitely weird when you're trying to make English only sets more bought, more pertinent, and more like
Yeah.
available to the viewer,
Mhm.
and to make them more like ideal for a player to play. And then you're gonna turn around in 4 months and then ban one of the linchpin decks.
That was one of the things they actually talked about in the video too, because what are they going to do this? Maybe they didn't hit HoloLive because HoloLive 2 is coming out. They only hit Quince. They hit that Quince ban, but Quince movie set's coming out.
And
how are they going to handle these ban whenever a new set comes
I
out?
think this was a very rough precedent for them to set for themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they like copying. They like copying what they do in Japan,
Mhm.
and finding it to be successful.
Yeah.
Or they like seeing what really hasn't mattered, and they help unban some things. So like K has come off the unban, and My Little Shido, that has also come off the unban.
It never went on the ban list.
It was never included on the English one.
Correct.
So and I think it was one of those things where they said, if this continues to be an issue, we will ban it or throw it on the pick list.
Mhm.
But I think this was a rough precedent for them to make. And I don't think Marine runs around anywhere close to as much as she does in Japan, does she?
I mean, you also got to remember, Japan has a lot more sets than we do.
They have a lot more sets, and their player base views this game a lot different than we do.
There was a lot of different ways to play. I mean, before, it took them a while just to hit D-side. And that's what JP said. We're not really going to go into that, but, there's a lot more happening in Japan that we don't have in English. I wish we had Love Live Superstar. That made a thing. Nijigasaki. There was a lot of things that, I'm mentioning Love Live sets because I really want Bushy to just bring me these sets. But there was a lot of things out there that, I guess HoloLive was played, but maybe not as much as maybe as Quint's movie got played, as D-side got played. And yeah, it's getting played a lot in English, but we don't have as much as what Japan had. And again, you might see it now because it's a team event. But I think the reason why is because so many people did say something about Escanor that it got.
Maybe we just have to go to Twitter. That's where I saw the most rants about Escanor.
But the thing is that
That's
you
again in the
can
comments.
complain about HoloLive, but HoloLive, yes, Marine, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, you're trying to make
Very
the argument.
strong.
I can see in your face
But
you're trying to make the argument.
It is possible that the reason why it's not on there is because sometimes HoloLive just loses to itself.
Of course. I mean, a lot of decks can. I think
But I think-
HoloLive loses to itself a lot less than other decks, though.
No, I still think it lose. But I think the thing is they lose to themselves. They didn't get what they needed. Yes, Marine can dig down. You could dig as much as you can. I think, it's a foregone. But yeah, there also could be just too much to hit. But
It's still a deck with a above average conversion rate.
in teams right now, yes. But I think because Escanor, I think it's also because you got to think about Marine's not uninteractable.
Mm-hmm.
Escanor is kind of
We'll
uninteractable.
definitely see in BCS and Bro, honestly,
Yeah.
where we see singles events, those who don't cheat were able to look out and see.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Even now,
Okay, the last 3 bros, they have said, "Hey, people have cheated."
I know. But
So I can't even.
And that's just the people
I
that
actually
got caught.
legitimately forgot.
it's kind of showing though, it's top 4, there are only 2 Marine decks. Last time we talked about the all of top 8 had Marine in their thing.
Mhm.
But
There-
now,
there's still 5 in Philippines.
right, but top 4 didn't have.
Yeah, but out of a 29 team event,
Still,
it's still
what
out
I'm
of those
saying is
5
that
teams alone, that is still 1/6 of the field, and that's just from what we see in the
it
top
could
8.
also be like maybe we're just overthinking on Hololive.
We might be fixating on it a lot.
I think that's just the thing, because like we could fixate on Hololive, but like Hololive does not have something that you take 6 horses of damage. I could bounce a card so that you can't even play a backup, because like that's the difference. Marine, yes, but you could rest count. They're not gonna side and burn 2. They're gonna frontal. All right, I can now rest counter something.
I mean, they could bounce back with IMA, but they don't do that.
They don't.
They don't do that.
I mean, they shuffled cards in with Botan, but like I don't know. I think we might be fixating too much on the way Hololive is, and maybe just something like, because we have died to we have seen Marines everywhere.
I would like a restriction of Marine to 2.
That doesn't do anything.
I think it does. I think it does more than nothing.
No,
It
A
definitely
non-zero.
does more than nothing.
I think I've told you this multiple times that unless you put Marine at 1, there really is no change. Putting Marine at 2 doesn't do much. Yeah, you may not see it as often, but you will literally play your Kanata, grab your 2 Marines.
Well, like I said, if you put Marine to 2, it's like, oh no, I die to Marine and a off finisher of either
Now
Chaco,
they're just gonna swim with the Botan they're playing.
of either Chaco, Botan, or Musashi.
That's what I mean. Like
in Cali.
putting Marine to 2 is not doing anything. It's not like when they put Kurumi to 2, it did something. Kurumi, yes, was still played, but it was still harder to just insta win.
Mm-hmm. I guess like now going forward, now that like we know that we're going to get Hololive set 2, is Marine gonna get replaced? Probably not, because it's just
Kuba.
So by
okay.
Gura.
Listen,
So
Gura.
by Gura, by some people.
by some people, yes.
So I
You
think
just
I
play
think
both.
I think Marine is a lot easier to play and it's a lot more streamlined. I think Gura rewards people who want to actually use their head.
But I do think Hololive set 2, there would be a lot more
Maybe
they get played.
oh god. Maybe I just lost my train of thought. It just went away immediately.
I mean, like maybe there's gonna be some combination of deck where it's just gonna be like a lot of old and some new, or maybe.
Maybe with like the 7 Deadly Sins hit,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to finally branch off and they can see potential success from it.
Sure.
And they can start to diverge the ban lists a little bit more than just the picks that they have. Because they tried to ease in with the Quince one.
Yep.
Saw it didn't do too much, so they added the Ichika on there. And so, like, they had to do that. But maybe with this is now fully disjoint for 7 Deadly Sins. It'll make them look at English a little bit more separately than just, like, English and Japan. Or, like, how would this look at in a Japanese meta?
Maybe we could see an Alice ban. Japan doesn't have an Alice ban.
And we could see, like, a diverge
Okay.
in the development for the meta of the game.
You never know.
And
Never
that
know.
would be nice. I think that
Yeah.
would be nice where, they look at the games disjointedly. I don't know if they do or do not. I'm sure they do to some extent. But they could also use the rationality of, well, it's not that bad in Japan, so we're not going to ban it in English.
Sure.
Meanwhile, the English is an entirely different breed.
It is a completely different meta. We are more of an aggressive meta.
English
Yeah.
is they might take 5 and die.
Yes.
So
that is true.
English is just that they look kind of hungry today.
yeah.
They might just do
Mhm.
damage.
Kind of hunger.
So I think, maybe this helps open the door a little bit more to diverging the metas and the ban list.
Here's hoping.
But who knows? I don't know. Bushiroad probably isn't even listening to us anyway. So
We
If
will
you
see.
can have maybe like 1 or 2 changes to the ban list, what would you do?
I mean, my hot take has always been just unrestrict Kurumi.
Okay.
Because I think if you leave the pick in place, it makes that deck a little bit more relevant and palatable. And then I haven't seen Alice in action. I actively haven't played against it, but I hear this deck's broken.
Yes.
And so I would think it would be funny if they got rid of it immediately.
that would be pretty good. I mean,
So like in my 1 or 2, I would probably put on there. Like you said, we have to just see how this Marine like develops. I'm actively against the card right now. But I think it's just because I'm sick of seeing it.
maybe because it's really weird. I was expecting you to say something about Marine, but you said
Hololive
Kirby.
has in English like 300 cards in it.
Yeah.
And that's before set 2. The fact that it's just converged on this one card has made me a little annoyed at it.
Fair. I mean, you keep talking about removing Kermit. I mean, do you really think she would be fair? But so you would say just put Kermit to 4, but leave the choice there.
Either that or extend it to add Shido, but I don't think it played it anyway towards the end. So,
Right.
like, I think that would be fine. Maybe throw something else on the pick. Throw something else on the pick. Make the
Mhm.
deck a little bit more slow, so you can't actively make it worse. But I think, I think you could bring Kirby out. But I know there's a lot of people who disagree with me wholeheartedly.
Interesting.
I think Weiss has just gotten fast enough where the Kirby meta is fine.
Well, maybe. I mean, Kermit is still pretty free.
Well, what about you?
Me, I would say, I mean, I already talked about like my change of the Escanor. I wish the Escanors were different.
You'd
Alrighty.
swap the 0/0
I already would
Escanor for
swap
the
it.
3/2
I
Escanor.
would already swap.
Is there
swap.
anything beyond that though?
Anything beyond it? I mean, I think there should be. I believe that. I know, like I said, there was like a fixation on the Marine, but I still think that maybe the 0/0 Kanata,
The Bonder.
the Bonder, and Marine should be a choice restriction.
You stop people actively from playing the Kanata
With Marine,
with Marine.
but you also stop people from just using that 0/0 and any other Marine deck.
Yeah, of course. It doesn't stop the choice ones as much as you'd want it to,
I
'Cause
feel
li-
like choice is a little bit.
but I think that they're playing a more fair game,
Yes.
and I'm fine with them playing a fair game.
I would rather stare down 3 Marines against a person playing Chokurine than I would the guy playing Kanata Marine,
I agree with that.
because they got their Kanatas because they got their Marines because Kanata is really strong with it. So I think hitting the 0/0 on the choice, because that 0/0 you can just grab anything off of paying, sacking and pitching a card.
Yeah, like
So that would be probably my Hololive hit if they had to do anything. And then, honestly, I think with coming, like, I mean, I really also think they should put the Nino restriction out.
The two Ninas.
I think there should be 2 Ninas.
Do you think they should get rid of the MTI restriction?
No.
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 Too much stock.
I think the MTI restriction,
I think MTI is actually in a really healthy spot.
I
right
think
now,
it's a
too.
better spot with the restriction, because now you have to play either rest counter or you play the 2/2 Galen. So now you have to think a little bit outside of the 8 standby box. Because when you're playing it, it was like, all right, now my 2/2 big Galanes.
Well, we see here in third, someone got 5 standby and 3 bar.
That's been the thing has been playing bar
a
and
lot
standby.
of people have been playing bar now.
But because people have been using the self combo. So you're seeing a little people think a little bit more about the set than how it was pretty straightforward. Like 8 standby, I got my 2/2 Galen, I got this rest counter.
Yeah, the deck's
Yep.
not just like 17 cards anymore.
It's just
Exactly.
I think that MTI is in a better spot because of it.
Brandon, any changes?
He wants his 7 deadly sins back.
Uh,
He didn't even play Escanor and he wants it back.
It's mostly that. It's mostly the fact, like, okay, I want to really try to do 8 friends. Like, okay, next tournament I go to, I'll try Escanor, sure, whatever.
Oh yeah,
And then just
he's just mad
instantly
because they
banned.
pre-hit him.
And like, man, I couldn't have fun. I couldn't get the free
They
wins.
nerfed Brandon before he could get out there.
They knew I was gonna be too powerful.
Yeah.
No, anything that would actually, I don't think there's anything I want off the ban list, because like,
Unrestrict Excalibur.
oh no, listen,
No.
let me have this one time.
No.
Let me play 8 Excalibur,
8
please.
Excalibur
No,
on
no.
on my 2 different triggers.
It'd be
Yeah.
nuts. No, I probably not that. Like, I will definitely say I'm very thankful that English, the ban list in English, it does not include all the bullshit for Fate, because God, I would be very upset.
That's because we just don't have the cards that fade.
That's also true that we don't
Well,
have
that's
all the
because
fun
there's
cards
like
yet.
maybe 4 play sets of Fate out there
Remember,
too.
in Japan, I'm pretty sure they had 2 free freshes in their deck. They played a total of 8.
Let me be broken
So-
one time.
That's why we don't have that restriction, because we don't have the other Rin Archer refresh.
True. That's very true.
Any like active things that you think maybe are an issue?
I mean, we've already touched upon like just most of Hololive, that just being an absolute problem. But like, nothing else has been like so egregious. As well, it's been Hololive, it's been Quince.
Hololive Quince and 7 Deadly was like
W-
the
w-
lineup going.
It was like
into a lot
was
of
definitely
these.
the lineup going into Georgia.
I definitely did see that team at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that which was like just not okay.
Yeah.
But no, I think like it's frustrating because there've been other sets that have come out recently, which all seem really cool on paper. and I'm really interested to see them actually play it out in tournament. But like, they've just been overshadowed. And it's like,
Mhm.
come on.
Bandlists work weird. I mean, I
Yeah.
had Kaguya banned before I got to play it in like a
And
actual-
anything.
in anything.
And like,
And
shout out to
anything.
our friend Tucker for just being the solo man on AOT and just really bringing it into the limelight.
Yeah.
Remember when AOT was supposed to change the meta forever?
I get to get banned right when MTI came out. I just
Uh-huh,
want you
yeah.
to know it's
Yeah,
Alejandro,
exactly.
anything on your end that you have gripes on?
You know, it's funny, right? Because I don't pay attention to a lot of these cards like everyone else here does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I know what they do,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like when I actively play against them. I just go in with the game plan of I'm gonna do what I have to do, and I'm gonna play, and then they're gonna do what they're gonna do. So I gotta do what I gotta do better,
Yeah.
essentially.
okay.
And I know it's not probably the optimal way to go about it.
I'm assuming
like-
he says no ban list. I think this is where he's going.
Well, no. My thing
Oh.
is my thing
Oh.
is that I don't know what's going on half the time.
That's fair.
I don't know what's
He's
going
like,
on.
I'm here to have a good time and
Listen.
hopefully win that game.
Like I know when I stare down like 2 or 3 Marines, I'm like, oh no, I am in trouble.
Yeah.
I know that, right?
What about when you stared down Ghislaine's?
He
I'm
was-
only in trouble if they're maxed.
Oh.
See,
I'm only in trouble when they're maxed.
What if you stare down 3 Rushias?
Rushias? Listen, staring down 2 is terrifying enough.
I just want you to know Rushia has been overshadowed by Marine, and I've started
Rushia-
playing Rushia, and I'm like, why do people not play this?
Listen, Rushia is sick. Okay, I do really like. I like.
I'm
Rushia
mad
a
people
lot.
dropped Rushia for Marine.
My thing is that at this point in my Weiss playing career, I do not think I am informed enough
That's fair.
to say
Blissfully ignorant.
You know what? It's probably better.
Because here's the thing, right? Like, yeah, I can agree that Escanor is kind of dumb. All
Only
right,
a little.
I can agree with that, right?
Mhm.
And someone could tell me, yeah, we're gonna do this type of restriction on Escanor. I'll be like, okay. I don't know what it does. I don't know
Yeah.
what it does to hinder the deck unless somebody tells me.
This isn't a Vanguard stream. We should hear him when Vanguard makes a ban. He's got a lot to say.
But I mean,
We're not gonna go on the Vanguard ban list because that's not what we do. But
I would be so lost. I would be absolutely so
Oh.
Well,
lost.
see, like that's the perspective I have for a lot of this.
I can understand where he's coming from because
yeah,
like
Chronojet sucks, man.
like you know
That's very true.
Yeah.
Guys. Just
Chronojet's awful.
yeah we're not gonna
Bushido, please.
So like that's basically like my perspective.
makes sense,
It's
I
just
get that.
like I mean for the most part, like I don't read a lot of these cards anyway unless I'm playing them.
Sure.
Well, outside of our circle, it's not as if any of us actively play anything broken.
True.
No, 'cause we're too busy being dumb.
The closest I think was like when I played 8 Standby Quins.
Yeah, I
The
also
entire-
played 8 Standby Quins.
Like for a while. Like I was just yep. I'm playing it because I like Nino and I got these pretty cards.
well, I mean, I'll be playing Kasumi. Like as soon as I finish sorting, she's going together.
Oh boy.
I've been waiting so long.
I
Well,
honestly thought you were gonna go back to the SSP part. I was like, you're not gonna buy them.
I wanna. We'll see. Well,
You're not
listen,
gonna buy them.
we'll see. That's right. You might be right because Rico did get us announced, so I do have to save up for all of my Chisato SSPs I'm gonna get because those I'll buy.
I cannot wait for the case battle for that.
You guys can't see
Uh,
this now.
Listen,
Jason's
you-
literally
Are
salivating.
you
Jason's
kidding me?
actively.
You think
like,
Jason's gonna let anybody else open those Lico Rico cases?
Yeah.
No,
it's for
Cause-
content?
no, because the second we touch an SSP,
Well,
Yeah,
he
our
let
hands are
you open
gone.
Bang Dream
That's
cases.
true.
He let you open Bang Dream.
Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Oh,
okay.
Maybe I'm including some people in it, and that's the problem. I did realize that it was pretty blissful the other day because it was just me opening my D4 DJ case.
Hey, I helped.
You did, but like you were playing MLB at the time. But I did say to him,
I
like,
was
"Hey,
helping respectfully.
we normally open cases with each other a lot. But for once, it felt really nice to just like chill in my own kind of realm, just opening my own case. I haven't done that in a while. So it was really nice, just doing my own thing. So maybe that's what I'm missing.
You need to
Yeah.
enter your Zen space.
Gotta get my Zen space.
Can I get your music key SP when you open it?
No,
Why not?
because I think I'm playing her.
Well, that's rude.
She's also an SSP.
Listen,
Can I get that then?
That's the only rarity. She has an SSP. She probably has a Lico Rico rare if I had to take a guess.
Well, can I get the music key SSP then when you open
No.
it? Thank you. That's gonna be a pretty SSP to throw on my mantle.
Anyway,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, anything else we wanted to go over?
I mean, this is so we will be. There's a thing we are gonna try out coming up soon. Not sure when.
Not sure when. Yeah.
But we are going to try the singleton tournament.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is also a good segue of speaking of ban lists because we are about to try a Weiss format without any.
We are gonna it's going to be strictly one-ofs, including your climaxes. There are some restrictions, like if you're planning to play a Bang Dream set, you could only use one band, because there is enough cards to do such a thing.
I don't know why you're doing this to yourself.
We tried putting in a restriction for HoloLive.
There's
it
just
just
not
turned
enough
out
cards yet.
it just did not work.
But Hololive 2 probably.
Also, we were like looking at it from the fact of like staring down 3 Marines in HoloLive, pretty brutal. Staring down 1 Marine and a Musashi and an off finisher, that's probably going to be what you're staring down realistically
Limit 1, I told you.
against like most other decks too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not gonna really care.
It's gonna be a fun little thing we'll do, because people are just gonna pick and play one-ofs.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fun little tournament. Hopefully we can get gameplay of that up soon. And build our decks for it soon. And then
We'll probably have some other videos coming up soon, but Jake can't seem to get a Rent-A-Girlfriend video right, so we're still waiting on that.
I'm sorry that I had a very busy weekend.
No, you also recorded it twice and didn't like 2 other times and didn't like it.
This is also true.
So we'll eventually get the other 2 videos we plan to have out as soon as Jake makes his Rent-A-Girlfriend video.
Yep. Do you wanna announce what the series, what this championship between our friends is going to be called?
No, because you are the worst person. But he did name it the Bread Bowl.
Which is hilarious. Because we're soup.
But the winner does get a bowl of soup.
The winner does get a bread bowl of soup, and they're probably just gonna eat it on stream for like 15 minutes.
Where's it coming from?
We don't know yet.
No, how did you not know yet?
Either Panera or we make
We
soup and get a bowl.
Have time.
Okay.
We have a lot of time. This is probably gonna be like a late May thing.
Yeah.
Soup in May?
Yes.
Yes.
Be so warm.
I have ice cream when it's -2 degrees outside.
Cause you're weird.
Okay. But
Okay,
still
I feel
do
like
it.
ice cream in the winter is different than soup in the summer.
No, it's not.
I think those are. I
No.
would rather have ice cream in the winter than soup in the summer.
You're still cold either way, and you're still hot either way. You could do both.
While I don't disagree,
When you
I don't think they're the same thing.
you tell me when
They
you
are
get-
not amicable.
People go to the beach and then get clam chowder. That is a soup.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Who
and watching.
goes to the beach and then gets clam chowder?
You'd never have gone to like.
No.
The people have done it. People get soup.
White people are weird.
I'm just saying it happens.
White people are so weird.
Okay, it does happen. I'm
Thank
just
you.
Making my point.
Everyone for listening to this episode of Super the Soul
We're gonna have soup
Sign.
in May.
Of Super the Soul Sign, you can't even get the name right.
Because
Thank
you
you,
guys out here
everybody.
talking about soup.
But that's not the name of this video.
Oh my god. Whatever.
Someone send us off.
No.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the Stockpot. If you liked what you watched, feel free to like and subscribe. We have a few more videos to be released shortly, so please be patient for my Rent-A-Girlfriend video and the gameplay between me and Brandon. We also set up our Twitter and Twitch, so be sure to follow us there for any other live streams and updates. Once again, thanks for watching the Stockpot, and we'll see you next time.